In this video, we are looking at section 5.3. It's continuing the metric system, looking at capacity and weight. In the metric system, capacity or liquid volume is measured in liters. Liters uses a capital L for abbreviation. And a liter is the volume enclosed in a cube that is 10 centimeters on each side. And so if we think of length times width times height, that would give us 1,000 cubic centimeters equaling 1 liter. Mass is the amount of material in an object. Notice they don't say weight there because weight depends on gravity. Mass stays the same no matter how strong or weak the pull of gravity is on an object. So the basic unit of mass in the metric system is gram. So here we have an example of converting 34 milligrams using, 34 grams into milligrams. We're going to try using a unit fraction first, and then using our metric conversion line that we were practicing last session second. So for the first way, again, we're going to start with our 34 grams and set up a unit fraction that gets rid of grams. So grams needs to go on the bottom, and milligrams needs to come up on the top. And we need to know the relationship. How many milligrams are in 1 gram? Well, it takes 1,000 milligrams to equal 1 gram. So when we do our unit conversion, we're multiplying 34 by 1,000 to get 34,000 milligrams. If we're using our conversion line, we're going to take our 34 and we're going to find grams on our line. We need to go to milligrams, which is back here. To get there, we're moving 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. So we find our decimal and move 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. Those 3 spaces have to be filled in with our zeros. So that gives us 34,000 milligrams that way as well. So go ahead and convert 14.9 kilograms to grams. You can either use the unit fraction or the conversion line. So you should have gotten 14,900 grams. Remember, we learned that there's no commas used in numbers in the metric system. We use spaces instead. So let's take a look at some true-false statements. And so our first one says that 1 milliliter is equivalent to 1 cubic centimeter. That is actually true. And we saw similar conversion with looking at our definitions. For number 2, volume is measured in square units. Again, referring to that same example from the beginning of the lesson, we had length times width times height to give us volume. So that's 3 units being multiplied together. So that's considered cubic units, or units cubed, like 3-dimensional cube. So that one was false, but we fixed it. For number 3, in 1 liter, there are 100 milliliters. Back to that same example, we had 10 times 10 times 10 to get 1,000, and that's true here. There's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. And again, we have milli, meaning thousandths. For number 4, you may notice a spelling change from the textbook here. A metric ton is actually supposed to be spelled T-O-N-N-E, which helps us identify whether it's metric ton or a U.S. ton. And according to our statement, a metric ton and the U.S. customary ton are equal. That is false. They're not equal. A metric ton weighs about 2,200 pounds, so 2,200 pounds, where a U.S. ton, if you remember, is the 2,000 pounds. So there's about 200 pounds more weight in a metric ton than a U.S. ton. And number 5, a decagram contains 10 grams. So again, picture the number line in your head. Deca was 1 space to the left of the gram. And so it takes 10 grams to make 1 decagram. Here's some problems for you to practice. So I included the number line here for you, the unit conversion line, so you can use that to move your decimal. And when you're showing work on a quiz or test, you can go ahead and just keep doing what we've been doing with those marks on the original number before writing your answer. So pause and answer those, and then check your work. Okay, let's take a look at some story problems. For medicine, how many 5 milliliter doses of liquid medication can be given from a vial containing 3 deciliters? Notice we do not have the same units. We want to get 5 milliliter doses from deciliters. So let's think of our number line. Here would be our liters in the middle. Then we have our deciliters, our centiliters, and our milliliters. So to convert our 3 deciliters into milliliters, we need to go 2 spaces to the right. So adding 2 spaces to the right would give us that that is the same as 300 milliliters. Now that both numbers are in the same units, we can say we have 300 milliliters divided by 5 milliliter dosages. And when we divide, we get that that equals 60 doses of medicine in that 1 vial. So here's a cooking application. 1 cup of flour is approximately 120 grams. How many cups of flour can you get out of a bag of flour weighing 2.4 kilograms? And we'll talk about this in the next lesson, but 2.4 kilograms is our 5-pound bags of flour, approximately. So again, we have units that are not the same. So let's change our kilograms into grams so we can divide and see how many cups of flour that is. To get from kilograms, which is all the way to the left of our chart, to grams, which is in the middle, that's 3 spaces away. And we're going from left to right, so 3 spaces to the right. gives us 2,400 grams in a kilogram, and we're dividing that by 120 grams. So grams cancel grams. I'm going to divide by 10 and get rid of a 0 on each. 12 can go into 24 two times, but then we have that 0 there to bring into our answer. So we get 20 cups of flour out of a 2 4/10 kilogram weighting bag of flour. So take a minute and think and write down some ideas about this statement. In the metric system, the common unit of the capacity is the liter. Discuss how you could change from a measure of liter to milliliters. If you need to look back at your chart, go ahead, but how would you tell somebody to change from liters to milliliters? You can change from liters to milliliters by moving the decimal 3 spaces to the right, which is the same as multiplying by 1,000. And that's it. Keep your unit conversion paper handy so you can have that line with you when you are answering the questions from this homework. If you have any problems setting up any story problems, or you want me to look something over, explain something, don't hesitate to send me those emails. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.